age where we all, yeah, where we all fall in love and we all love to love and we all love being loved. So my first question is, all you need is love is a popular saying, and I've been told by people that like money is not the most important thing, love is more important. If we have love, we can be together, we can be good. But I come from a school where I'm like, dhanam moolam idam jagat. I'm like, what will I and you love? And if we don't have money, what will we even do? So my question is having a life full of love and not much money better, or is like going for ambition and working on our careers and making lots of money and security, but then maybe you don't find the right person, but you settle or whatever. So what is a trade-off? Because it is a trade-off. We don't have time to do both things, like most of us don't. So
I was told some things were going on in the WhatsApp and stuff, that in Hyderabad, after the demonetization, women are beginning to marry for love.
Women are making so much money, Sadhguru.
So, I would like your definition of what is it that you're calling as love?
First of all, that's another question. Like, for my personal feeling, like I don't know. I've felt love, but I don't know how to define this word. I think this is a word that greeting card companies came up with to market stuff. And one more issue I had with love is, because it's so untangible, when I say I love you, you say I love you, we could be completely… Hypothetically. Hypothetically, like, when someone says I love you, I think maybe she means that I will give a kidney, I'll give my life for you if you're in trouble. And maybe when I say I love you, I'm like…
No, she only said I'll give my heart, never the kidney.
No, but to that extent, that I will do, my life is yours. When someone says I love you, they could mean that. And I could reciprocate with I love you to the same person, but maybe my meaning is that I really like spending time with you and you're the only person, and whenever I want to go out, I want to spend time with you, but I will not give a kidney or give my life for you. So the thing is, we just say I love you, but because it's not tangible, you never know what is the exact this thing of it. So that's one vague conversation which will go on forever. And I have so many questions for you, and I think we're running out of time.
No, this kidney love I like.
Oh, you like? But tell me what is better. This is an answer I need. Like, can we survive with love and not enough money, or is money important and then we can also find love, like whenever we can, if we do?
See, we went through this in some way in the beginning.
Okay.
What you call as myself right now is a body, a certain amount of thought and ideas and whatever.
We will stick to this dimension. If you go to another dimension, I'll lose you there.
And there is a bunch of emotions.
Okay.
And there is life energy. Without that energy, all this wouldn't be functioning.
Okay.
So these are four dimensions.
Okay.
What you're referring to as love is a certain sweetness of emotion. The question is not about who triggered it for you. It is just that because of somebody or something, you started experiencing a certain sweetness of emotion, which became so valuable at that time, you promised a kidney. At that moment, because that sweetness meant so much that… Actually, in Hindi, they say something, what, gurda, something, what is that? What is that, huh? Something, I will give away my kidney. That same thing is said in a more powerful way.
Okay.
So, at that moment, I'm willing to pull my kidney out and give it to you, but not the hair. That is clear, okay? So, essentially, it's sweetness of emotion. What sweetness means is, see, if the body becomes sweet, we call this health. You feel healthy because there is a certain sweetness in the body, pleasantness. Sweetness is pleasantness, isn't it? You call something sweet because you say, oh, she's so sweet, because she's pleasant. For you, in your experience, she is pleasant, so you say it is sweet. So, if your body becomes pleasant, we call this health. If it becomes very pleasant, we call this pleasure. If your mind becomes pleasant, we call this peace. You're feeling pleasant, So you say, I'm peaceful. It became very pleasant, you call this joy. Your emotions become pleasant, you call this love. It became very pleasant, now you call it compassion. If it is somewhat pleasant only for one person, we call this passion. It became very pleasant, we call it compassion. Now, you feel like that, absolute sweetness towards the tree and the air you breathe and the people, you don't even know who they are, it doesn't matter, you have pleasantness. So we say compassion. If your very life energies become pleasant, we call this bliss. If it becomes very pleasant, we call it ecstasy. If your surroundings become pleasant, we call this success. So right now what you're doing is, you're pitting sweetness of emotion versus sweetness of the surroundings. To create sweetness of the surroundings, we need the cooperation of many forces. Situations have to cooperate, people have to cooperate, many things have to fall into place. Otherwise, success doesn't happen. Pleasantness of surroundings will not happen unless there is a skill to it, there's a talent to it, there's a certain amount of management to it, there are many things. But the sweetness of the body, the sweetness of the mind, the sweetness of the emotion and the sweetness of your energy must be 100% you are making, isn't it? Yes or no? The sweetness of the surroundings, everybody has a stake, all of them will play a role in this. But the other four dimensions, the sweetness should be managed by you. So if you are in charge of that, then you would keep this always profusely sweet. Your mind, your emotion, your body, everything, you would keep it that way. Then all these struggles wouldn't even be relevant to you. This is one dimension. Money is a means to facilitate external situations. Love is a means to create internal pleasantness. How can you use a bathroom spray to make global warming go? Can you?
I can't.
It doesn't work like that, I'm saying.
Yeah, it doesn't. What I'm saying is, the sweetness of inside or sweetness of surroundings both require time to build that sweetness.
No.
Huh? Like if I have to be successful in my…
Sweetness of outside needs time, energy, effort, resource.
Like a relationship needs nurturing, you need to spend time
See, that is
with
the different thing. This is what I'm trying to distinguish. See, love is what happens within you. This is the sweetness of your heart. Relationship is… sometimes it's hard work.
Oh, when I'm talking about love, I'm not talking spiritual, this is all
No, I'm
relationship
not talking
only,
anything
everything.
spiritual. There's nothing spiritual, this is emotion.
Okay.
See, right now, you're smiling.
Yeah.
Is it spiritual or just a regular smiler?
Spiritual dimension I don't understand.
That is
I'm
what,
full
you
ground.
don't have to understand that because you don't even have to name it that. All I'm saying is, if your body is feeling pleasant, you feel
smile.
healthy
Yeah.
and nice. If your mind is feeling pleasant, you feel peaceful and joyful. If your emotion is feeling pleasant, you feel loving and compassionate. So, why do you want to call it spiritual, non-spiritual nonsense? There's no such thing. So right now you sit here, you have very sweet emotion, not towards anything or anybody, you're just sitting here, sweet emotions. Has it happened to you? Nobody need to be there, just like that. If there is something, you share it. If there is nothing, you can sit here with a very sweet emotion. Now relationship is hard work. That is external success. You have to build it, you have to manage it, there are many aspects to it. While the other person may be looking at your external situations too, all right? They're not just looking at the sweetness of your heart, they're also looking at what you're wearing, what you're driving, how you are, who you are, everything they're looking at it.
Yeah.
So, a relationship involves those dimensions, you cannot say it is completely free of that. Well, when the Gurda thing happens, maybe little bit they will cross that. But it doesn't mean it's completely free of that, no. It's always involved, physical things are involved, isn't it?
This sweetness, what did you call love? Sweetness of the heart.
Sweetness of your emotion.
Sweetness of my emotion, if it happens with 2-3 people, then…
It cannot happen with 2-3 people, it can only happen within you.
Okay.
It only happens within you.
If it is happening within me…
No, 3 people are stimulating it. 3 people may be stimulating it.
Okay.
I am asking you, Do you want to be a push-start machine or a self-start machine?
Self-start?
Self-start means your sweetness must be turned on by you. If you want to share it, you can share it. If you don't want to share it, you don't share it. But you must be sweet for your own self, not for some… See, love is not about somebody, it's the pleasantness of your existence, isn't it? Is it not important? Forget about other people, relationship stuff. But is it not important if you sit here, you are pleasant by your own nature, somebody need not come and poke you and crank you to be pleasant? Right now, what you're talking about is, 3 people have to crank me to make me pleasant. A very poor machine. You remember the old ambassadors?
Yeah.
Always they parked down slope, because morning you have to push. Now all the cars are self-start. Improvement, technological improvement or no? I'm just asking you to upgrade your technology so that you self-start. If you wake up in the morning, you're full of joy and love. If somebody comes, we will share. If nobody comes, we're just fine.
One more question related to this in a very utilitarian, very basic, inhuman level. Our mind and eyes haven't been… You're also human, mate.
Don't you call me inhuman,
So, once when I was in my intermediate, and this is where your hormones are going through the roof, and this is mostly where you're attracted to the opposite sex or the same sex, depending on your choice. Once my dad sat me down and he told me, Vijay, if you buy a bottle of water, you can drink it, you can close the cap, you can keep it half full, you can know that when I reach that place I still have half a bottle of water, you can drink it to the last sip, you can refill it if you want, it's always with you. But if you fall in love with a girl, she's not an object, she's a person. And unlike an object, she has her own feelings, her own emotions, and she can develop likes and dislikes that might not suit you. She might make decisions that you might not think are in your best interest because she has her own life and she has her own choices. So I was like, what he was trying to do was, he was telling me, focus on your career now, because that will always, if you work towards it, it will always pay back. And for love, once you're settled and stuff, you can spend time on it. Right now it's about career. If I was a girl, he would tell me the same thing about a boy. So it again comes back to this question about, on a very real level, that we have, so many of us have to make these choices. Where do we pursue ambition with all our intensity and time and energy, or do we, when you find the right person, do you try and… It's hard to find this balance though, because it's very competitive these days, and you have to give it all to survival's much. You need to work harder to beat the competition and survive. Don't go on the competition trip, I'll come to it. So, like nurturing a relationship versus nurturing ambition, like this was something he said. So I wanted to know your thoughts on that. Like, was he off the mark? Was he off the point? Was he…
No, in his own way, what he's trying to tell you is, there is a time to build yourself and there is a time to live. If you try to live too early, then life may not stay with you. You may end up in a place that you yourself will not like after some time. So essentially he's saying, first build your life, then you try to live. But if you try to live too early, it won't last and you won't have a big life, you'll have a very small life.
And one more thing is, we all love being loved. I'm talking again on a relationship level, that's all I know.
No, let's settle this. When you experience love, it happened within you or here? I know you in the movies you're showing all those heart marks flowing this way and that way in Instagram and all that. But when you felt it, it happened within you or outside of you?
It happened within me, but as a response to something.
In stimulation. That's why I said, do you want to be a self-start machine or a push-start machine? Somebody has to come and stimulate, only then you will feel sweet.
So you're saying without any stimulation, I can sit here and just feel full of love and feel happy and stuff?
If you're self-start.
Whoa, that must be a cool place to be at, like to
See,
feel
it
that.
is cool.
It must be a cool place to be at. We have to try and get there someday, like.
That's why in engineering.